my goodness, we're doing 180. Whoa, that was close. This brand new mod for beamng brings the Skoda Octavia to the game. It's the first generation Octavia by DAXX. This mod includes a sedan and the wagon. There are lots of different configs. We're going to be checking them all out today. In fact, there's even some Easter eggs, and I can't wait to show them to you. So let's start with the sedan. Now, this vehicle was based on the VW Golf and the VW Passat. It was the first all-new Skoda made under VW ownership, and as you can see, it does look very like a Passat. Now, this has opening doors. I don't think the bonnet opens, unfortunately, or the trunk, but this is actually a work-in-progress mod. Now, on the interior, as you can see, it looks quite nice, very 90s, quite a detailed model down there on the radio, which is pretty cool, and some missing textures here, but don't worry, it is just a work in progress mod. Quite a lot of room in the back, you can kind of see back there. I'm using my Logitech G27 and Track IR to look around today. Now, the first thing I noticed was look at when you light up the, wow, look at that green lighting. That is really, really interesting. Very, very bright, very luminous, love it. Now, this mod is in early access. You can get it for €5 on DAXX's coffee page, but don't worry, once you pay 1 month, you get access to all the future updates and all of his future mods for free, well, when you pay the subscription for 1 month. So it's a pretty good scheme. This mod will be released for free eventually. Don't worry, it will be released for free. You're just going through some beta early access testing. Now, how does it drive? Well, I've noticed that the steering is pretty heavy, but that's okay. This might not even have power steering. It is like a 90s, whoa, 90s car. What's the J-beam like? Ooh. The J-beam is actually pretty good. Yeah, the bonnet is really crumpled and the grille too. There are several different engines. This mod even has the VRS, which is a turbo model, and it was the first in Skoda's VRS line, which is like their sporty line. They even made like a Fabia, I think in about 2010, which has had like supercharging and turbocharging, which is really cool. This is front wheel drive. We've got manual gearbox. I don't think there's an automatic included in this mod, but whoa, oh my goodness. It is worth mentioning that like Skoda in the UK were kind of a joke in the 1990s. Like they used to mention them in sitcoms and stuff like the joke, crappy car. But this car really changed around Skoda's image, and it made Skoda a bit more like a premium, well not premium, but middle of the road, pretty acceptable car brand. Okay, and then the wagon. Look at this. It's a lot of room back here, as you can see, lot of room. Very weird shape there, it's kind of odd. The traction control has 2 settings, on or off. There isn't a sport mode, it's the 90s after all. Here we go. Now this I want to say 1.6. Let's have a look, what engine did it have? 1.8. 5 valve double overhead cam straight 4. That'd be ridiculous, a 5 litre straight 4. Anyway, it's pretty good. It revs quite nicely up to 6,000. Not much torque. This car really, I think, does benefit from that turbo or a diesel. Whoa, because it got so much more torque. So here are all the models. This is the 1U, the first generation. Now, we've checked out these two. Let's check out the FL Tour. I believe that this is the like facelifted model, which they brought out in 2000. So this first generation ran from 1996 to 2010. Whoa. And as you can see, we've got slightly changed steering wheel, slightly changed dials, actually much nicer dials. The engine, I think, what kind of an engine does it have now? It has a 1.6. So we've actually got smaller. Okay, here we go. Oh, it's slower. That is definitely slower, but it revs similarly up to 6.5, something like that. Wow. Okay, I like the steering wheel though. It's much nicer, and the dials are a little bit clearer. I've got the same infotainment, well, not infotainment really. It's just kind of a radio down there, and I think a cassette player. Yeah, cool, cassette player down there. But yeah, 2000 facelift. It's not changed too much. The grille and the front has been changed slightly. I do like the colours that come with this mod. Skoda seem to have some interesting colours that you can get for your car. Look at all these. Nautic blue. Diamond silver metallic. Oh, I like that. I actually quite like silver cars, even though they're a little bit boring. Hot chili red metallic. Wow. Look at all these colours. Right then, let's try out the VRS. So this has 180 horsepower from a 1.8 litre turbo engine. Weirdly, the textures do work in here, but look at these seats. Black and white seats. Interesting. The styling, well, it's a little bit sporty. We've got a body kit on here and a rear wing. 180 horsepower doesn't sound like much, but back then in 2001... it was quite a lot. Whoa, traction control, let's turn it off. There we go, we are off. You can hear that turbo. Oh yeah, this is nice. This feels great. So imagine VRS is like Skoda's GTI. They have a lot of different VRS models. I don't think they do it on the Superb. I could be wrong, but they still make an Octavia VRS, and journalists, car journalists, loved this car at the time. It was the real car that changed Skoda's image, made them a serious brand, at least in Britain. And this thing is actually, wow, the handling isn't great, but the performance is good. 180 horsepower, and it uses them pretty well. It reminds me quite a bit of a Saab, actually. This turbo engine. Here we go. Foot to the floor. Not much is happening, but it's so much faster than the other variants. Here we go. That is 160 kph. That's 90 miles per hour. There we go. Yes. And you can also get this in an estate form, and there aren't many fast estate cars out there. And this thing really does look very mean. Look at it. I love the look of it in black. These nice VRS wheels, and of course the wagon. Now, I'm a huge lover of estate cars, wagons, and this is a cool and actually quite cheap fast wagon that you could get back then. I don't know how much it cost, but it was like considerably cheaper than an equivalent, I don't know, what would be like a Mercedes C-Class with a big engine back then. Much cheaper. And actually got quite a bit of kit as standard in these, so Skoda really have excelled at being a good value for money brand, and they have nice touches in the cars, like you get an umbrella with the car that, I think, where does the umbrella sit? I think it's somewhere in the passenger cabin, but then an ice scraper in the fuel filler flap. These are just little touches that, you know, make Skoda stand out, and I actually rate Skodas very highly. If I was going to buy a new car, it might be a Skoda. Now, most people back in the early 2000s would have bought one of these with a diesel engine, so let's try the Elegance. This is their highest trim level beneath Lauren and Clement. Okay, here we are. We've got red leather seats. Oh my goodness. Not a fan of red leather, but even the gear stick is red. That's really weird. Right, diesel. 1.9 litre diesel. This is just a standard diesel you'd have found in Volkswagen Golfs of the era. So the chassis and the engine were obviously from Volkswagens, but Skoda could do a little bit on the styling and the branding, stuff like that. And I think it has been a very fruitful relationship, partnership. Whoa! It's got a soft suspension, this one, compared to the VRS. Yeah, a very fruitful partnership for Skoda. Well, it's not much of a partnership, really. Like, Volkswagen completely control them. But yeah, I think Lauren and Clement is like a luxury... I think it's called L&K on the new ones. It's a luxury trim level where they add some nice touches and features and styling. I don't know what... They're like a stylist company or a coach builder or something. I don't know who they are, this company, Lauren and Clement. Or Clement, I don't know how you say it, but... it's their highest spec one, and this is just below that. So yeah, is it luxurious? Well, very floaty ride. The engine is nice. It kind of pushes the car forward at a pretty even rate. Nice torquey diesel engine. I'm assuming we're getting pretty good fuel economy, but those red seats, I could not live with those red seats at all. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Well, we're going to have a big crash test here, I think. Induction system damage. Go into a tree. Bang. You know, I actually think the crash model is pretty good. So earlier I mentioned some Easter eggs. If you go to the Control W and Save and Load menu, you've got a few extra configs down here. Now, I've just seen the WRC. Let's try that out. Look at that in orange. It looks really nice. We've got a huge wing at the back. It's a 2-litre turbocharged engine, and is it 4-wheel drive? I'm not entirely sure. I think it is, yes. Right, here we go. We're going to do a gravel hill climb. Let's try it. Right, here we go. 4-kilometre long hill climb. We haven't got any dials in the interior, which is a bit weird. Here we go. There we go. 4-wheel drive working well. Induction system is already damaged somehow. Right, is it good at getting over the bumps? That's the mark of a good rally car. Yes, it is. Oh my goodness. Now, Skoda did actually have a pretty good run with rallying. I remember back in the day, I used to play a few rally games, like Colin McRae Rally, and there were Skodas in that game, I think. It could have been a different game. But yeah, they had a pretty good run. I don't know if they got any major victories, and I don't know what drivers they had racing for them. But with this car, they, I think, made some... Oh dear, let's restart. Yeah, as I was saying, with this car, I think they had some kind of homologation special edition. So under rallying or racing rules, they had to make road car versions of the rally car or race car. And they had to make some kind of special VRS, WRC version for the road. And they're very rare, like 500 of them were made or something like that. Very small amounts, there we go. And that's kind of a cool rule that's brought us some interesting cars like the Audi Quattro in the past. Those homologation rules have brought us some interesting road cars. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Now, I don't know what happens with like Volkswagen, because obviously Volkswagen have a racing team, Audi have a racing team, Skoda then got into rallying. Oh dear. This isn't going well. I wonder if they were all like competing with each other. That'd be kind of shooting yourself in the foot if all the marks in your company were racing against each other. Okay, here we go. We're coming up to this corner. I'm going to try and use the handbrake. Handbrake is definitely important. There we go. Whoa! It does seem to be very floaty on this dirt. I'm wondering if the tyres aren't really set up for this kind of gravel. Maybe some kind of dirt or something. I'm not sure. Or maybe even ice. Whoa, 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 whoa. So if anybody knows anything about the history of Skoda rallying, I'd love to know. I know they did it in like the... Wow! Oh dear! I'm not very good at rally driving, but I know they did some rallying in like the 70s. Oh dear. And I don't think I'm going to complete this rally, am I? Oh no! My poor WRC Octavia. Oh! Okay, so let's find out just how fast this thing is by taking it on the motorway. There is so much torque and power from this car. It is crazy. Whoa. Suspension is pretty good. Very, very soft. Okay, here we go. We can floor it. We actually get a little bit of wheel spin in 4th gear. There we go. So we are off. There is 120. I can't go too fast because it doesn't turn well. It does not turn well. Oh dear. Get off the wall. Oh my goodness. It's really hard to control. Okay, here we go. Look. Oh, it sounds great though, doesn't it? That sounds awesome. It sounds like a Formula 1 car. Okay. So we're in 6th gear. This car does have 6 gears, I believe, which is good. Not all cars this era have 6 gears. We're doing a bit of like 100-mile-per-hour drift in a Skoda Octavia. That's not normal. Okay, here we go. Floor it. Go, 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 go. 130, 140, 150, 160, the game's FPS has dropped, 170, it just can't handle the Skoda. Oh my goodness, we're doing 180, whoa, that was close, 175, 180, oh, this is a 200-mile-per-hour car, absolutely, isn't it? What a machine this is, I love it, and big crash, one of the wheels come off, the bumpers come off, brakes. No anti-lock brakes here. Oh, what a beast of a rally car. But then in the save load menu, if you just load this wagon model, it's just called wagon down there, you get an interesting color combination, and on the interior, we've got this tan seats and a wood kind of dashboard. It looks quite nice, pretty luxurious. This should be the Elegance model. Anyway, that is the Skoda Octavia first generation mod by DAXX. I'll leave a link to the copy page below. Now, once you've paid your subscription, you need to link your Discord account to go and join the DAXX modding server. You'll get perma access to all the future updates and mods down there. You only have to pay for 1 month, I believe, on coffee. This mod will be released for free in the future, and thank you very much to DAXX for giving me this mod for free, giving me mod access for free. That's really helped me out, and I've loved checking out the Skoda. So thank you so much for watching. It's great to see a Skoda in this game. If you'd like to see another of DAXX's mods, it's the VW T-Cross. Click the video on screen right now. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. Thanks so much for watching. That's all for now, and I'll see you soon for some more simulator adventures. Wow, this car has a lot of body roll around this roundabout. That is just crazy.